funny how we say someday. It's a day that will actually come. April 8th, June 12th. Those are real. Someday, it's not.
I just heard 6 shots go off.
Okay. Well,
Shots. I mean, there's no question.
we have our officers out with him right now. We're dispatching the ambulance. Is he shot?
The officer was in a fight. He said he was beat about the head, but he doesn't show any blood or any signs. It's dark out here. I can't really tell.
The morning of December 6, 2013 started off like a regular day for so many. Coffee, and then off to work. Later that morning, the world would learn that 23-year-old UIW student Cameron Redus was shot to death outside of his apartment by off-duty campus police officer Christopher Carter.
Initially, I had a lot of pride, and I really felt like the staff truly cared about me and my goals and my future, and I felt like they really took a lot of steps to get to know me, or at least that's what they claimed, that they don't treat their students like an ID number. They treat them like real people who they truly want to help accomplish their goals. So the way that they painted their own student when the story first came out, honestly, it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking because they don't know their students. Because Cameron was the complete opposite of the way that they painted him to be.
These are the facts of the case. Since the shooting, UIW has yet to release an official apology to his parents or acknowledge any possible wrongdoing. In addition, the administration slandered Cameron's image, highlighting his elevated blood alcohol level, painting him as another reckless, drunk driver to divert any negative attention from the case. Cameron was accused of driving erratically down Broadway and refusing to pull over. However, it has been confirmed that Cameron did not drive faster than 30 miles per hour, and Carter never flashed his lights until turning into the apartment complex. Cameron was pursued in Alamo Heights by an off-duty campus police officer who had a pending complaint from an on-campus student and a record of aggressive behavior from previous employers. Officer Carter claims he acted in self-defense due to Cameron beating him with his own police baton. However, Carter denied treatment from paramedics once they arrived on the scene and had no visible signs of injuries. Furthermore, the audio from his lapel mic has no indications that Cameron ever had possession of his police baton. Cameron was hit 5 out of the 6 shots fired consecutively. The suspected first shot entered Redus's left eye socket at close enough range to leave powder burns. It exited 9 inches lower than its point of entry through his neck, suggesting Carter was above the victim and pointing his weapon downward. This shot was followed by another through his spinal cord, which exited out through his heart. These findings indicate Cameron was not even facing the officer when the shots were fired, much less charging toward him, as Carter claims. From the very beginning, UIW met student concerns in a defensive manner. During the Student Government General Assembly in March of 2014, one of the issues of concern brought forth from students was campus police fitness standards. Instead of providing straightforward answers, Chancellor Denise Doyle and Vice President of Business and Finance, Doug Ensley, danced around the questions by either refusing to answer or stating the answer was unknown.
I think that they approach their students in an extremely combative way. Rather than listening to them to understand, they seem to always be on the defense. And that's not an efficient way to come at an issue, any issue, especially something as large as a death. It's not, this cannot be swept under the rug, and I feel like that's honestly what they're trying to do.
You're coming to look for a job. There are job requirements. And so, like these ladies were saying, and the other ladies and gentlemen, that should be one of the requirements for that position, that you have to be a physically fit gentleman or woman in order to qualify for this position.
Okay.
And so if They can run. Well, I've seen some of them. Now, none of them should be that way. It shouldn't be a few that, oh, okay, we can live with one or two being overweight.
I understand.
None of
what
them
you're
should
saying.
be overweight.
Okay, thank you. Do you have a question?
It's disappointing. I mean, it's something that we as students are concerned about. It's something that we need to feel like they're taking care of us as students, and they're not, you know, and they have no shame in making you feel that way, you know, like you're not a priority, like this isn't a priority to them. They'd rather sweep it under the rug and go back to making money.
Also, we model our police department after several other universities. That's like something, and at UTSA, it's in their policy. Like we pulled it up that they have to be in physical shape. So if you say you don't know the pragmatic approach yet, we're modeled our police department off several other bigger campuses. UTSA has it like in their bylaws that they.
He had this cop had a lot on him. He was probably outweighed him by at least 150, maybe 200 pounds, you know? So for him to say that this guy came up to me and took my baton and I feared for my life, it just didn't seem very plausible. Just common sense would tell you that. Public Safety Director Michael Agnesi and previous Police Chief Jacob Kalunga refused to meet with the chairman of the Student Safety Committee to discuss the suggestions students would like to see changed by the campus police department to feel safer. Ironically, Ensley stated during the March 2014 open forum the administration was willing to consider and even implement student suggestions. The head of the newspaper, Mr. Mercer, told me that after the first article about the rally right in front of campus, after that article was published, Mr. Mercer told me that some administrators asked him, you know, why he allowed for that article to be put in the paper and why we weren't standing behind UIW. What's disturbing still is the question of where Carter is now. He is still out in the workforce without any consequences preventing him from holding another job. When you call for security, he could be the one showing up to your aid. This issue goes far beyond UIW. It's sad. It's sad. There's a lot that could have been done to prevent it, and I think UIW screwed up really big.
So initially, I didn't think that this was going to be an issue, and I most certainly didn't believe that it was going to be dragged out for as long as it has been. But when everything started unfolding the way it did, I was just in disbelief. I cannot understand how they can be so hypocritical. You know, you learn that when you do something wrong to someone, when you hurt someone, if it was intentional or not, the Bible says you go to that person and you make it right, and you ask for forgiveness. And if you don't, that's against what God has called us to do. And UIW claiming that they are a, you know, Christian-based foundation, and it's just very hypocritical because their actions are showing otherwise.
If you just admit it, everything could be in a much smaller scale. I know students wouldn't be so unhappy. So if he died wrongfully, I would just like it to be admitted.
It's been very disappointing. I can't say that I feel comfortable, you know, knowing that people feel like we should have just swept this under the rug. This tragedy is not yet over. The family civil suit is still pending, and UIW has still not made any ramifications to student safety. Let your voices be heard, and let your concerns be known. Take a stand, not because it is what's easy, but because it is what's right.